Hey, what is up, everyone? This is Geet, and welcome to the channel. So, I'm in Goa right now, especially in South Goa near Palolem Beach, and it's a pleasant weather. I'm just 200 meters a walking distance away from Palolem Beach. I'm living in a hostel right now, and I'm not doing work from home right now. Okay. So, I am a software engineer and I have worked with some of the biggest giant companies in the world, and I'm still associated with it. And I work there as a firmware engineer. I do software for the hardwares. But enough about me, let's talk about you. So, in recent years, people are more inclined to doing a software engineering job because of the way it works. Like it gives you flexible work hours, it gives you the opportunity to work from anywhere. If you don't like being at a certain company, you can switch to the other company pretty easily. There are so many things which are so much beneficial to being a software engineer. But all these things, all this sunshine and rainbow, it looks like a dream. But there are some caveats that you should be considering while choosing a software engineering job. So there are a lot of things which are good when you do software engineering, like problem solving. You are solving a piece of problem or a whole new problem, or you're creating one problem and trying to solve it. All these things require a lot of coding, and when you code, you do something meaningful, you do some work which can be meaningful to and which can be useful to the society, the world. And along with solving these problems, you are also given an opportunity to work from anywhere. Like there are so many software engineering jobs which allow you to work from any corner of the world as long as the work is done. Awesome, isn't it? While you are doing all these things, while you are coding, while you are working on projects, while you are solving these problems, you get an opportunity to learn so many things, so many new technologies, as you have to be aligned with whatever is latest in technology and a new frameworks. So there is a lot of chance to learn new things. And by doing all these things and working in a way that you contribute to the enhancement and to the well-being of the world, you are making an impact. You are making an impact to the society around you, the country, and the world. All these things, all these sunshines and rainbows makes you think that, oh man, this is like my dream job. I want to do software engineering because it fulfills all the criteria that I have. I want to be remote, I want to work from anywhere, and I want to do some impact to the world. But there are certain caveats that you have to consider and you have to take care while doing this software engineering job or while choosing the software engineering job. So let's talk about the bad parts of software engineering. Well, I work in Bangalore as a software engineer in a big company, and whenever we consider India to work as a software engineer, there are a lot of things that you have to consider, and there might be a lot of things which you won't know. Most of the companies here are working on maintenance projects. So there is no new thing. You are not building something new, but there are projects which are currently available, and you are working on top of that. You are working to maintain those projects. You are working to do bug fixing. You are working to do support for these projects. So there are no new things which are coming to you, and you have to develop those things. So when you are doing a lot of support every day, and when just fixing the bugs becomes your everyday task, life becomes pretty monotonous. It becomes like you are working as a robot and you are performing a certain number of tasks every day, going back home, sleeping, waking up, going to the office, and doing the same thing. So life becomes really pale, it becomes black and white or whatever you call it, and it becomes boring when you do it for like certain number of years. On the other hand, when you have thought about becoming a software engineer, or when you're learning about software engineering, software development, you might have thought of making some new project and making the impact which we just discussed to the world, right? But when you do the actual work, there is a great chance that the work which you're doing won't match with your skills. The reason is the business requirements won't match with your skills. Whatever you do might not be the thing that the business requires, right? Maybe the company might be making more money by sustaining and maintaining a project rather than making something from scratch. And that will create a lot of frustration because you love what you do and you're doing the thing that you love, but the kind of the work that you are doing is not something which is creative. It is something which is someone else's work and you are doing it, right? So this makes it very frustrating. One more thing is, let's consider that you do creative work, you're doing what you love, but since you're working in an Indian company, an Indian software company, there is a lot of work pressure. Every company wants to do the things very fast. They want to make like 5, 6, 7, 10 products a year, and they are trying for it and they are working so hard for it, pushing the targets, pushing the deadlines. And the only person who suffers is the engineer who has been developing the product, right? It's you. So, especially in the Indian companies, there is a lot of pressure to do the work, and sometimes they also consider compromising with the quality of work when there is more quantity. So when they want to push more products, they say, okay, it's fine to make a product which is just meeting the requirements and which is not excellent because the customer wants it. So all these things, all these problems makes working at the office, working at the company really difficult, and you do not have any way to escape it because you are not going to create your startup tomorrow and start working on it, right? You have to work or you have to switch the company, where even if you switch to the other company, the situation is more or less same there as well. So that's a brutal truth about the companies which provide you the software work. So I have discussed about the good things and the bad things about the software engineering, but that's not enough. There are certain things which take it to the next level and make working in these companies toxic, really bad. So let's discuss them. As we are working in a company, we work in a team, and there is one person who manages and controls the entire team, and he is called the manager. So one of the biggest problem in the software companies is poor management. If the management is poor, then there can be a lot of problems that will be faced by the employees. So if the support from the management is not good or is not helping, and if they are not aligned with your growth, staying in that company becomes dreadful. It becomes really frustrating, and it can leave you isolated and undervalued. And when the person is isolated, and if he is not valued enough in the company, if he is not rewarded enough in that company, he'll feel like, okay, I want to leave this company, and what is the meaning of me staying in this company, right? The other problem, which is one of the biggest problem in the IT industry, is unrealistic expectations. When you work as a software developer, the customers, the managers, the higher management, the marketing team, they expect you to work 24/7, even if you are paid for like 40 hours a week. And that's a really bad expectation because people keep on pushing you to push more features, to push more products, and that makes your life miserable. When you're working too hard and when you work beyond the time which is assigned to you, you have to take that time from your personal life, right? And when you start taking that time from your personal life, both your professional life as well as your personal life goes for a toll. And that's really bad for your well-being, right? You will start having problems with your relations, you will start having problems with your health. And what's more than that, right? What's more important than that? And because of these unrealistic expectations, you try to push more code, you try to push more features in less amount of time. And there will be some compromise somewhere, right? And the compromise happens in the product quality. So you deliver a poor quality product, and that is also bad, right? That's not good for the sales of the product. That's not good for the performance of the product. That deteriorates the quality of the product, and that is no good, right? So this poorly written code, this poorly maintained code goes to the customer. He uses it. He is having a bad experience, and then he feels like, okay, I'm having a bad experience with this product, and I'm not going to buy it for the next time. So it impacts the sales, and ultimately it impacts the developers. That is you. And because of this urge to push the products, to push the features, to push the code really fast and on a urgent basis and compromising on the quality of the product, you suffer having lack of professional development. You do not learn anything new, but you are so much focused on pushing more and more things, so that hinders your professional development. And at certain point in time you'll feel like, what am I doing with my life? So apart from all these things, all those problems, the good, the bad, the worst thing about being a software engineer, at certain point in time, what I feel is it's a really creative job. It's a really creative and artistic work if you are assigned some proper work and appropriate projects. When you start as a software engineer, you won't be assigned such good work because the management or the other engineers might not believe in you or might not trust you adequately because you are a new, you are fresher. So you have to work towards your growth, and you have to figure out some way that can be helpful to you to become a better software engineer and not just better at solving the bugs, although that also might be really useful. And you also have to understand that what is good time to stay in the company and what is a bad time, and what is the opportunity to switch to another company for better and more challenging work. It's completely up to you, because one person might be satisfied at a certain company, but in the same company his colleague might not be satisfied because he is treated differently and he is not given the work which aligns with his skills. So this is all about this video today, and I hope you guys might have found it useful, at least 1%. If you are satisfied with this content, then my work is done. So like it if you like this video, and give your comments, give your suggestions, subscribe to see more such videos. With that, it's time to wrap up this video, and I'll see you the next time. Till then, stay safe.